Hey everyone, welcome to the Texas Toast. I'm Miss Helen, and I actually have the guy that's going to visit with us on this podcast is actually my adopted brother. Like literally, I feel like he's family. I didn't even have to prep for this one. From the Phineus Reb band, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Cody Kouba. Hey Cody. So just to kind of give the audience a general idea of your background. Of course, you grew up. You're from Crosby, Texas.
Born and raised northeast side of Houston.
And when did you start getting into music and songwriting? Because by the way, Cody is a very gifted songwriter.
Oh,
Let's talk about your songwriting.
thank you. So as like real young, so we grew up in like the camp meetings in church and stuff, and I'd see these guys come in from out of town and out of state, and South Carolina, and they were bringing these bands in and killing it. So we came back home to Houston or to home, as a kid, and I remember asking my mom, "Hey, we want to play guitar." Me and my brother, and we nobody around taught guitar, so we took piano lessons. And
Mhm.
the lady said, if Miss Jaja Jenkins, she said, if you learn to play piano, you can pretty much teach yourself anything. And so that's pretty much it. That's how I got started. And then I don't know, the older I got, the more I just I progressed and looked towards, I chased down musicians mostly and rode the back coattails of most anybody that would let me pick with them or whatnot. So that's
So
kind of
then,
how I got
yeah,
started.
and when you started putting out, there was a competition that you won, right?
Yeah. Early, that was kind of like 09-ish, 07-ish, if I can. I don't remember, but it was right in that little, it was a blur back then. But yeah, that little era, there was we ended up doing a, what was that for? It was the Kenny Chesney Poets and Pirates tour that was coming through Houston.
Hmm.
We did a, like a songwriter type showcase thing, original music type performance. And anyway, we ended up getting picked for that deal, and it helped out and springboarded a lot of more opportunity. Yeah,
So you were solo Cody Kouba before you put Phineas Reb together,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So
So
that
tell us about the solo career that really got you rooted in the Texas
so
music.
early on, like 18, 19. So obviously, I'd been playing piano since like second grade. So my music stuff started earlier than most. And by the time I was 18, 19, I was, again, I was playing at a level that was higher than the average 18, 19-year old. So from a musical standpoint, I was able to jump into like as a guitar player for so and so and this. So early years, my buddies Wayne Hubbard, we just kind of rode around Texas. Randy Rogers, Brady Black, those guys from that whole little Texas
Hmm.
music scene. They were just kind of in and out of the honky tonks here in Northeast Side and in Houston where we were kicking it. So it just we crossed paths with a lot of guys like that, and that's kind of what I did for on and off for about four. I'd jump on somebody's guitar or jump on somebody's bus as a guitar player, and make it a second, come back home and do my other thing, go studio, write some stuff, and kind of do my own thing. So it wasn't really an applied career. It was just music anywhere and everywhere I could get it. It was fun.
Well, and I have to say, if you haven't been to a Phineas Reb show, you got to get to one because y'all are even more amazing in your live shows.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's I've got a great group of guys that I'm playing with. That's fact. I mean, I've back 4 or 5 years. I guess it's probably been 2014 was when we put that together. I'd been kind of like just not doing music at all, and so I was wanting to do it again, but I didn't want to go out there and Cody Kouba it. I felt like I just didn't, like I said, I didn't apply myself properly in my younger years, or maybe I applied myself perfectly. I'm not sure yet. But long story short, I wanted to organize the best of my material and do nothing but original music, no covers, and really
Hmm.
organize it and run with a group of guys that were interested in playing because they love to play again, that kind of thing. And anyway, Chip, Dan, Aaron, we got to. They were all buddies of mine and people that I knew from the like local music scene. And Aaron and I grew up together. And anyway, we made it happen. We put it together, so it was fun. We just started cutting the old songs and doing them the way that I felt like they should have been done. So
Yeah, and I love the terminology for Phineas Reb music. It's called honky grass.
that's right. And
Got a
all
little bit of
that
honky
jazz.
tonk, a little bit of bluegrass.
That's right. Yeah, as it and all that that implies.
And, you're just so well-rounded with songwriting, performing, entertaining, singing, I think, and you can play a banjo like nobody's business.
Don't tell nobody. No,
Oh,
I love
go to a
banjo. Was
show, you'll
actually
see it.
banjo was actually my I would say second instrument, but I didn't. Again, I had I was hanging with my buddy Brian Thomas, who I'm still friends with. He's a producer, studio owner. Anyway, steel player, banjo player. So when you're running with guys like that, it's hard to bring the banjo out and get any real practice. But since the Phineus Reb deal, I was kind of forced. Well, do you go hire a banjo player? And I couldn't find one that was, you know, 40 and below. So I opted in on the banjo. I was like, well, I'll learn to play the banjo, fluidly and get the guys. So that's been fun. That's all happened like in the last really putting that into the show in the last, I mean, 5 years. That's
Hmm.
not very long for, but it's fun.
Yeah, we've been working together, what, 2, 3 years now?
I'm at three.
Yeah. Hey,
COVID year just kind of threw it. You just strap that one, add another one to it.
yeah. Well, we have to tell the story about, because we had talked on the phone a lot
Did
before we actually met in person. And so Cody, Pat, me and Captain Ron take them out fishing. And Cody gets on the boat and I'm throwing a topwater and I'm slinging it. Next thing I know, I
the
just met
park.
Cody. I hit him close to the eyebrow, which I never do. I'm always so careful on the boat, but I saw some bait jump and I wanted to cast right to it. And poor old Cody just got
That's
in the
as
way.
low as that. Yeah,
But he kept me around even after that.
absolutely. I was glad I had my safety glasses on.
Them good goggles. That's why they say always wear sunglasses on the boat for that reason. But I felt so bad about
Well,
that.
truth is, as small as that lure was, it really felt like somebody almost knocked me out. I was like,
It
wow.
was a skitter walk. It's not that small. And it had some
Yeah,
brand new hooks on it too.
yeah, but my big old head.
So I know you've got some stuff in the works. Do you want
Yeah,
to talk about your future? Let's tell everybody what's going on.
we gotta. So the COVID thing happened, and it kind of put brakes on a lot of the touring stuff that we had going on for 2020 that was on the books, and so we just decided to go cut a record. And anyway, we put together basically the show that we perform and the material, um, and the group just went in and cut it, and we did it all acoustic, which is I say all acoustic. There's a bass on there that's electric bass. We did a variety of bass and bass things, but for the most part, it's an acoustic record. It's called Acoustifried.
I love
Phineus
that.
Reb's Acoustifried, and we're doing it's a two-part album. So basically, right now is the stuff now or since 2014 to present, and so what's going to happen here probably after we release this here in the next what is it? What is it, May, March? I can't even.
What is it? It's March.
So we plan on dropping the first single off the Acoustifried first cut here at the end of the month. And anyway, so that's the game plan so far.
I'm
And
excited. I can't
yeah,
wait to
me
hear
too.
it.
It,
Yeah,
it's
you're
sounding killer. I've got some samples, but I've got to get it all completed. We're about four, I don't know, two or three sessions out from completing it, so we're not far from it. And anyway, it's going to be good.
well. I'm waiting to set some time aside. You and Pat come and we'll have a preview party.
Dang right, that sounds good.
That'll be a hoot. How is Pat, by the way? Pat Matula is a fiddle player for Phineas Reb. We're gonna have to get him on here too. He's a character.
It was fun. He just stopped by the house a minute ago. Whenever I was bouncing back and forth to the router and whatnot, I was like, I gotta go to that Zoom meeting. And he's like, all right. And he bumming nose, but
Oh
anyway,
man, you
yeah,
should have
he's
pulled
doing
him on
good.
in there.
We played a little show last night, so it was good. So he was coming and collecting some of his belongings.
So how are the shows going? Is that you're gonna
Uh,
see things picking up now, hopefully?
yeah. We haven't well, to be honest with you, for the most part during the COVID thing, we survived on like a lot of these private functions, small gatherings, etc., socially distancing and all.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it was all we got by. We tried some of the internet stuff, but it wasn't as I just assumed go do it. So we try to put it on a schedule more or less, but it's hard to do that and really stay consistent. But now things are moving. We've got some contracts on the books. I mean, things are coming back, so we're looking forward to it and optimistic about the whole year. I mean, we've got, I think, somewhere out in New Mexico is we got a little traveling to do this summer,
Good,
so it's
good.
there's going to be some fun stuff happening. So
I got to get out there. I've got to get out and see a show now that we can do that again.
yes, yes, yeah, we got to get one going. Especially down there near the water. Give me a reason to go fishing again.
Absolutely. So, for I guess to kind of get outside of music, one thing I appreciate about you, Cody, is that you're such a hard worker. Not only tell everybody else, you would not believe what this man does.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I see. If I start telling people how hard I work, then it doesn't feel like no.
Well,
Man, I've got a pool company that we do service and maintenance on pools and pool repairs and whatnot. I'm a rig welder by trade, uh, so I occasionally go weld and burn rods, and I've got a truck and stuff, so I do that as well. And I've got some stump grinders that we
that's the new, see, you can't stop. I saw the stump grinder thing. I'm
you
like,
can
when does Kouba ever stop?
you put see these musicians, they like to work on their own schedule, so I found little trinket jobs that work with them. So anybody needs a deal, I can get you hooked up with a stump grinder. We'll
And how, yeah,
send
and
the
how,
bass player over on Thursday.
and how your girls doing?
They're doing good. They're doing good. Shelby's driving, which is
Oh my gosh.
unbelievable. She's 16, and Ella, she's doing her thing. She just got done with basketball and fishing to kick off soccer. So it's a busy schedule. I'm a busy dad.
Man, did you do the teaching how to drive? Did you do that thing, or
Not so
did
much.
you delegate that to someone else?
No, it kind of. Be honest with you, I throw up a couple and relax a little bit and come on, let's go for a cruise. She was really good, but she's been driving four wheelers and stuff all of her life,
Hmm.
and so that kind of thing. And she's real responsible. I say that, but you know what I mean. I just she understands that what was what, and there's a few times I mean, and I was suckered back into that seat,
I know, right?
it just wasn't coming out, but she she's a good driver, I think. When I'm around anyway. So
Hmm. Yeah, that was. I just remember when mine were learning, we were going through the driver's ed and all that. I was like, oh, I didn't have my nerves still weren't very good for that. So back to
I've
the
rode
music.
around with musicians though, so it's pretty chill whenever I
Oh
can
yeah,
I can handle it. So
yeah. So out of this kind of going back to some of the music, of course, the outro here at the Texas Toast is "You Can Go to Hell, Hell I'll Go to Texas." I think it's one of my all-time favorite songs. Out of all the songs that you've done, is there like one that's just a certain baby for you?
oh man, you know what? We've cut one this on this. Well, we've cut a song that I wrote back in probably 2001. It's called "That's All It Takes," and man, that one's kind of real to me for whatever reason. It was probably one of the more marketable tunes I wrote whenever I was young. Um, I say young, but younger. But yeah, that one's jiving, and it's one of those songs. It's made it through three or four different bands. Down to the Tavern's another one that was
Oh
just a
yes.
fun party song that is just
Hmm.
every band. I mean, even back in the FCO days, which I mean that was 02, 03. That was another group I worked with. That was fun, but we did all those songs as well, and they sang them and performed them as well. So it's kind of weird. They just made transitions and different players and different styles. So we've got it at the honky grass phase of things now. So
Love
anyway,
the
it's
honky
all doing
grass. Yeah.
it's killing it.
Hmm.
Rocking banjo. We're trying to. Wait, no, that was another. I said hemp infused. Hemp infused music. That is no. That's not. That was the barbecue sauce. We got all kinds of ideas.
Yeah, and there's nothing like sitting around. I've been very fortunate to be around you guys, and I love just y'all will just pick up the instruments, just sit in the living room and just start jamming, and it's
Oh
the
yeah.
most amazing.
Well, anytime we can do that, like again, a lot of times we're forced to, again, not forced, but we play along a set list, play along guidelines that are just,
Hmm. Hmm.
in a show format. And it's not that it robs it, but occasionally you might want to play some Johnny Bush, or you want to, just jam something that, is good for the soul. So, it's always fun. And it's always great to be around, people like yourself and Ron and everybody that,
Hmm.
really appreciate it. And that makes a lot of difference too when
Yeah.
people really enjoy what they're getting. I mean, I've been in settings too where it's not near as, and you're like, do you hear what you're getting? And people are like just ignoring it. And I was like, oh, come on. But
Right, right.
I've been in both sides of that. So at some point it's really cool when we can do it and people like it.
Well, we're looking forward to the new music coming out, and of course, once we get that launched and you get that release, and we're gonna have to have you and Pat back on the Texas Toast.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, the record. I hope to have it out by the end first of April. So that's my run on it. We'll or at least drop digitally, and get us a single out, and then hopefully we might go to vinyl. I'm not sure this run, because everything's kind of moving to this digital platform. It's so much easier just to do it, and real collectors can move into things that enjoy the actual album itself. So
Right.
we're excited about it. It's gonna be fun.
Well, for those that are listening that um, don't know how to find you, let's spell out Phineas Reb.
All right. It's
The-
Phineusreb. Phineas Reb. Phineusreb. I'm sorry, I can't spell. But yes, phineusreb.com.
I
That's
tell
where
you what, if you haven't found the music, it's going to change you, and you'll definitely be hitting the road to get to a show to see these guys play because they are unbelievable. So, before we wrap it up, I have one question to ask you, Cody.
oh,
If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
an old fashioned.
I like it. You're an old-fashioned kind of guy. Good answer. All right, Cody. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us and visiting. And, of course, I'll be staying in touch, but we'll
Absolutely, Helen.
keep the audience updated too with some of our other episodes as to what's going on with Phineas Reb Band and Cody Kouba.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having us on, or having me on right now. We'll get the crew in next time.
Sounds good. Thanks, Cody.
Awesome. Thank you.